This is my last video as an 18-year-old. Alright, so I wanted to make this video just to document what turning 19 feels like for me. And as crazy as that may sound, I'm 1 year closer to my 20s, and I really don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I've been dreading this day a lot lately. I have come to the point where I don't want to grow older. Maybe it's for a variety of reasons. One I do know is that I feel like a lot of people call me young because I was 18, or I guess I still am 18 now for a few more minutes, but the second that somebody has a 2 in front of their age, they look at you differently. You know what I mean? And I'm one step closer to that. I feel like all of my achievements thus far have been interesting because I was so young, and I have this weird pressure that, you know, like when I grow older, I have to live up to that name and continue to do crazy things. And so yeah, it's great. It's a great thing to be going on in this new chapter of my life, but I think I'm out of things that I could be doing to make my life engaging. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like all of my accomplishments feel more normal or much smaller than they actually are now that I am 1 year older. I don't feel like a kid anymore, and it's all coming to me. You know, work is real. You know, I have 2 more years of school after this one until I'm launched into the real world, and frankly won't ever see my friends again, or at least as often as I do now. It's all settling in. And honestly, like, I don't really know how I feel about that. I feel like every year leading up to my 18th birthday, I've always looked up to the idea of being 18. I see these ads on TV like all the time that say, must be 18 years or older to do this, to do that. And so the second I turned 18, I feel like, you know, I have this power in me that I can do things now. Like, I'm not a child. This past year of latter half of my first year of college and the first semester of my second year, it's been a lot of reflection of, you know, what I want to do in my life, who I want to be surrounded with, what are the hobbies and passions I want to pursue just because I love them, and how I should go about tackling a lot of the obstacles that early young adults face. And so I found myself immersed in groups that are around, you know, 20-ish, mid-20s, you know, freshly graduated from college and are sort of learning life for themselves. I've made an effort to surround myself with people that I want to be like and to learn from them so that I can live my fullest life. And so far it's been proving me pretty well. But I do miss, you know, being young and doing the stupid shit that I used to do back in high school. I'm just so excited for what's to come, but also scared at the same time, just with the pressure of all my internships that I have to apply for, and just the pressure of being an Ivy League student, especially being an FGLI Ivy League student. Like, I don't think it's talked about enough. The amount of pressure we face, given the fact that, you know, we don't have a net to fall back on in case we don't succeed, is really scary. Especially given me and like what my passions lie in, and the fact that, you know, I don't want to go into investment banking anymore like everybody else does here, because it's just frankly not something I'm passionate in. And so I'm taking this year to figure out what really I can do to merge my passions and my skill set to create something that is beneficial for society, that I can also live off of, and, you know, frankly become somebody who loves what they do, as cliche as that may sound. So, you know, follow me along for that journey and subscribe if you want. I really don't know what to say. Like, I really came in this with no script at all. Anyways, I guess I could clarify my goals for this next year. Given the fact that I did lay some sort of small foundation in my content creator journey, I plan to, you know, build on top of that to meet a lot of people in various industries and like see where that takes me. I don't necessarily know what I want to do yet. But I do know that there's like a lot of people that went to Columbia or like any school, to be honest, graduated with a CS degree, and became a famous actor because somebody decided to take a chance on them and thought that they would have potential. Like, for instance, I went to this talk at Meta headquarters the other day, and I met Simu Liu, and he was talking about how he was in consulting at Deloitte or some position at Deloitte, and all of a sudden, I forgot how he specifically went from there to acting, but I believe somebody took a chance on him and casted him for an opportunity, right? It was a very small, low budget film, but he said that catapulted his career and made him into who he is today. And I feel like stories, crazy random stories like that, are just so common, especially in a place like New York where creativity and technical talent are all around us. Like, for instance, I wouldn't have started filming random stupid videos on myself for YouTube, had it not been for Darius and Candace. I'll put pictures of them on the screen, because one day I was at Columbia Taekwondo's first practice of my freshman year, and I was sparring and I got kicked in the balls, and so Darius and Candace here came to me and sort of helped me get up and asked me how I was doing and all of that. And then later that night, I saw in Columbia University's Taekwondo Instagram, and I DM'd them and I was like, "Yo, guys, thank you so much for helping me. That was really embarrassing." Da 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 da. And sooner than you know it, I was already at my first tournament with them, started hanging out with them more. And it was funny because Darius is actually Indonesian as well. And he was the guy who actually helped me practice my Indonesian quite frequently. And Candace as well, they happen to both be influencers actually. And the way it worked out was that, I saw them post all the time. And I was like, do you think I have what it takes to try something like that? And so it hit me. And so they taught me, some techniques of how to engage the audience and how to grow a platform. I tried it. I posted videos for like a month or two, didn't get any growth at all, actually. But then on the third month, I grew rapidly. And so I remember over summer, I grew from like 8K to 20K over the course of like 1 month. And, that's really good for somebody who just started out. So anyways, all this to say that like there are many stories like this where things just happen out of the blue and you just gotta wait for it, and you just gotta be at the right place at the right time. And there's no telling us like how that's gonna happen, but you always gotta keep these opportunities available and at hand. And so that's what I'm trying to practice as well. I'm so grateful for the people in my life that have shaped me to be who I am today. Especially you guys or whoever's watching this that is a supporter of anything that I do. I really appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, I'm just at a point where I'm taking life slowly, one step at a time. And like one thing I don't want to do this year is say no. Not in a way that makes me sound like a pushover, but I don't want to say no to opportunity. There's a lot of beauty in uncertainty and the idea of not knowing what's going to happen next, and preparing all of your energy to throw into opportunity comes knocking at your door. You can really only set goals for things that I'm currently doing. So I've written them down here. I want to grow the platforms and build my YouTube from the start. And I'm saying this now to keep myself accountable, because at the end of the year, I don't want to look back and see how I didn't do anything. So I'm setting a high bar right now, and in hopes of getting there. It's sort of the idea of aim for the moon, hit the stars. Why don't we throw a crazy number out there? Let's say I'm gonna have 50K subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year and 100K on Instagram. That may sound unattainable, but might as well put it out there. Who knows what'll happen? I also want to be more present and with my family. I'm realizing now that I'm at an age where my siblings look up to me, and I don't want to be the brother who is so busy with like all the things that he's doing that he doesn't have time for his siblings. I'd much rather be known as a really good big brother to them. That I want to be published in Vogue. Again, the same theme of setting super high bars. I want to be published in Vogue. I somehow got a Getty image this past year. So, and I was not expecting that at all. So when I saw that, I was like, yes. Funny story about Vogue though. That exact runway that I walked, that I got the Getty image for, was actually talked about in Vogue. So technically, like, I'm associated with them, but I didn't get a picture in that article, if you know what I mean. So there were like around 30 to 40 models or so, and there were like about 10 pictures. In my mind, I'd like to think that they were just chosen at random, but maybe there were certain criteria and looks they were going for. So yeah, I was not one of those 10. So hopefully within this next year, I will get formally published in Vogue, and I'll be making an update on whenever that happens, of course. That's a big stretch. That's a big dream to have, but I think it's obtainable. I also want to be published on Forbes 30 Under 30. I'm working on a lot of projects right now that I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears. I do really hope that at the end of the day, these are all worth it, and that, once I'm able to scale my platforms to be big enough, I'll have a decent marketing base to start marketing and advertising these products for you all. And I hope you guys enjoy them. Yeah. Anyways, another goal I have is to be healthy. I know there's like this public perception of models being super healthy, super active, super fit, but that frankly isn't the case for me. I have been struggling with eating healthy food a lot recently, actually. I just happen to have a really good metabolism, which is why I'm like literally a stick. Everybody around me is always like, eat your fruits and vegetables, Caden, it's good for you. One thing I can say I'm proud of though is that I do drink a lot of water. So that's, I'll keep that a constant for sure. But yeah, having a better and balanced diet is something that I'm looking forward to within the upcoming year, and I think it's attainable. Waking up early, that's another big one. Another goal that I have is to make friends that are my age and in the same grade level, or like one above, one below, because I don't know what that is. Sorry, you would think our 100K tuition would cover all electricity bugs, but apparently that is not the case. Anyways, because I feel like I've been so involved in circles. Like last year, my entire circle was full of like 20 to 30-year-olds, some that have kids, but they're all like masters and grad students. So they're already like a step ahead of me in life. They already have their shit together. And the idea that, they all graduated except for like two of them last year really put me in a tough spot this year, because I didn't start with many friends. A lot of them moved back to Indonesia or their like other respective countries. So, but I did come back with the idea of meeting creatives within New York. It's another reason why I came here, because I've been heavily involved in fashion in the creative scene so long as I remember, and I've just wanted to meet people here in New York. And so since I haven't done that last year, I was like, might as well do it this year. So I went to every event that I could find within the past 3 months, and have so many people that are my mentors that I can lean back on and trust with a lot of. This is like pissing me off. I don't know how else to describe it. Anyways, I feel like that those relationships have brought me out of the Columbia sphere, which is good and which is something that I wanted to do. But I also need to have some sort of grounds within the Columbia sphere and have some friends at Columbia as well, because I feel like the idea of going outside of school to talk to those friends and hang out with them has fucked over my relationships here at Columbia. So within this next year, I want to make friends at Columbia as well, and not hang out with those people outside of Columbia. I feel like those guys are so cool, and they give a whole other perspective that Columbia students may not have. And I want to keep both friend groups, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Everybody here that I've met in college and just in New York in general is so interesting in their own way, that it's just like mind-blowing to me how like so many smart, bright, creative, and charismatic people can fit on just one small island. And yeah, I love it here. Anyways, I'm not the best impromptu speaker, and I'm not really sure where I was going with that, but I did want to share a poem with you guys that I wrote addressing my 18s and my future to come. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys there. 18, you were as unexpected as a teen pregnancy. You tortured me, grew me, and shaped me in ways I'll never forget. You pushed me to create content that reached over 30,000 people in a business I'm proud to call my own. You gave me the chance to strut a runway in front of Naomi Campbell, an annual tour that even got me whispered about in Vogue. But what no one else knows is that I teared up during that walk, seeing my dreams come to life and not wanting it to end. You gave me a trailer of what's to come as long as I show up, keep a smile on my face, and stay consistent. But your greatest gift was clarity. You taught me to let go of paths that weren't mine to follow, to pursue what truly sets my soul on fire. I wake up every day now with gratitude. This year, we surprised the fam with Juju, the companion I dreamed of having since I was 5, and you brought me back to my roots in Indonesia, reconnecting me with family and heritage after years apart. 18, you were proof that life doesn't follow a script, and that there's beauty in the unknown. So 19, let's fuck this shit up.